Hello, good evening, and welcome back, everybody, to the G-Town podcast. This is episode number 11. My name is Brendan Borillo. I'm your main host of the G-Town podcast. Before we start the podcast, we do advise you guys to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. There's a new notification bell feature on YouTube, so every time that we upload a video or whenever we start going live, you'll get a notification saying that we are. We are also live on Spotify now, so please do drop by, listen to us when you're driving, when you're at work, when you're working out, or anything like that. We appreciate every eye and ear on the podcast, guys. We got Ceston, Prada Man, as always, rolling with us on set today. We got Aaron, as per usual, and our special guest for today, we have an Oscar-winning visual animation artiste, my cousin and my own blood. We got Barry Andres. What's good, guys? Hey! What's up, man?
Yay!
Cuz, man, thank you so much for hopping on the podcast, man.
Thanks for having me.
Busy guy, man.
Busy, yes.
How was work today for you, dude?
Extremely busy.
Yeah? Like you're doing just a bunch of paperwork? What time does work start for you? Because like you said you're off at like 6:30.
It totally depends. It totally depends on when the director looks at my stuff. It just depends if I have stuff on the farm. Farm meeting is like a render process that I have to get elements from different departments and put it together. It's this whole visual effects kind of mumbo jumbo, but everything's all about timing. So I start at 9, but sometimes I can roll in at 10. Everything just totally depends on my deadlines. So there's really no start time.
No start time.
But there's no real end time either. You can leave early. You can leave later. You still get paid.
Yeah, for sure.
You get paid OT if you stay later or whatever.
Definitely.
It's a good thing.
All right. To the audience that are tuning in and to the people who don't know you, Barry, please introduce yourself to the audience.
I'm Barry Andres, born in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Moved here when I was about 6 years old and lived in East Vancouver all my life until I moved to Surrey in my teenage years and rep this city, pretty much.
Oh, I see.
I'm visual effects, animation, movies, television. I work for Sony ImageWorks. Recently worked on the Oscar-winning Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I've done many of different movies,
Sausage Party.
Some you've seen, some you probably haven't. A lot of animation, Sausage Party, Seth Rogen.
Damn.
Also did like Smurfs.
You did Smurfs too?
Angry Birds. What is that Jason Statham movie? There's a bunch, I just don't even know the name. It's like a big shark movie. God. Just a whole bunch. I've been doing this for over 10 years. I think it's like 14 years now. I started pretty much when there was only 2 schools available to teach you how to do this visual effects stuff. Until now where it's like everywhere. But I started when you needed a portfolio and you needed some sort of art degree on private schools to get into these colleges for animation and visual effects. Nowadays, all you need is money, and which is pretty sad because the rate of people spending 35, 40 grand, and not getting a job after, the rate of employment is scarce. It doesn't matter if you get a degree or not. It's not guaranteed you're ever going to work in the movie industry or television or whatever. So I got in pretty early in the game, and thank God I'm still here. There's a lot of people that I started with in a class of 15. They weren't really big classes back in the day. Class of 15. About, I would say, less than half got jobs, and to this day, there's only 2 of us out of my class that are still in this industry.
Really?
Wow. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's a brutal industry.
I bet.
So I mean, that's what it is.
What was the college called? I remember a long time ago.
It was called, back in the days, it was called CDIS.
CDIS.
There was Vancouver Film School, and then a place called CDIS. And then AI came along and bought CDIS. So now it's called AI.
Arts Institute.
The Art Institute.
Where my brother went.
Yeah. So before that, it was CDIS, and all they did was visual effects, animation, and they did, I think, editing and sound. And then AI came, and then you did cooking courses, fashion, and all of that. But I pretty much got out of my last term. That's when AI bought out CDIS.
Oh, okay.
So my curriculum and all of my stuff was still CDIS until AI bought it. And then I was the last of the CDIS crew.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. I remember a long time ago, I don't know if you remember, but I remember like you invited, I was still like a young kid at the time, but you invited me to CDI, and then like you gave me like a tour around, and like I come inside, and it's beautiful. It's like all these like visual animation people, they're just like making all these like cool little like animations.
Yeah.
And then like I'm just like walking around, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool, and like everyone's just working. I forgot what I think you were like presenting something too.
Oh, but, I think I had my demo reel. It was that I had to present, and it took me a year to get that done.
Wow.
But that's when I didn't know shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now I can probably pump out one in a couple hours, really.
That's the craft right there. That is so sick.
Yeah, back in the days I had no idea, so it took me a full year to create a demo. And so that's what the curriculum of CDIS is totally different than AI. Back in the days, it gave you 3 years to get your master's in visual effects and animation.
Yeah.
And back in the days, I didn't know I wanted to get into this industry. Back when I was doing dead end jobs, you know what I mean? Working for like Bell Mobility, doing like customer service, you know, waking up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, picking up the phone and having someone like yell at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was just horrible. You know, I would like literally put people on hold and go for a smoke. You know. Yeah, I'd literally just, you know, let me put you on hold and get my manager. So I would literally just put him on hold, I'd go for a smoke.
Yeah.
You know, or a blaze.
Yeah.
And then I'd come back and I was like, well, my manager's not in. You know, and I'd give them a whole spiel and whatever, and you know, just give them a discount of whatever they needed. It was, but during that time, I had no idea. So I kind of like.
How old were you at that time?
Oh man, I was like 19.
Okay, yeah.
19 years old.
Yeah.
I really didn't know much. I really had no fucking skills.
Yeah.
I hated school. Every class I got into, I was horrible in. I'd skip all the time.
Yeah.
I was a badass kid.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm not gonna lie. The only thing I was good at was gym and art. My background in art is graffiti.
Yeah.
So I was a graffiti artist. I used to, you know, every day I would just have my graffiti book in class, just doodling, you know, writing sketches, just whatever, drawing dicks. You know, just stupid shit. I'd never thought I would ever in my whole life think I would be making cartoons or movies.
Yeah.
You know, out of some kid just drawing on a book.
Yeah.
Which, in, you know, when you look, I don't know if you guys ever, if you guys watched the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, but in the first scene, you see Miles Morales doodling into a book and just doing tags. And that's what I used to do.
Yeah.
I used to tag a lot. I used to pump out murals. I would get like...
Oh, sorry, just watch the table though.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good, it's all good.
I would get, you know, just those little my name is stickers, and
Yeah.
I'd tag that, and I'd stick it on buses.
Nice.
You know, I'd stick it on SkyTrains.
Yeah.
I'd go and graffiti on a wall or whatever, and that to me was a release, and that was my art, and that was the only thing I was good at. So when I got into this, I kind of like left everything. I left all the bad shit I was doing and just kind of focused. I went to CDIS, dropped everything. I like all of my friends and all of that other stuff. I kind of just said, fuck it. I'm going to be in this fucking building and I'm going to fucking make something out of it. And I lived there. I literally had, this is like my backstory. I had a lot of problems. You know, I had, my family life was in a rut. My parents got divorced. They moved to the Philippines. They sold their house. I had no place to live. Lucky I had like really good family that took me in. My aunt took me in, and I lived with my aunt for a while.
Yeah.
But going through the school, I pretty much lived in my car because I didn't want to drive all the way to Surrey.
Yeah.
So I lived in my car, and I slept there. You know, I slept on people's couches. My classmates had like the little rooms. I'd sleep there. I'd sleep on their couch. And I focused everything into this craft that I did. And back in the days, we didn't have YouTube. This was the time when YouTube was just getting there. All we had was MSN and Asian Avenue.
Yeah.
You know, this was that era. We had dial-up. You know what I mean? That's my era of when we started getting into this thing. And when I got into the school, it blew my mind. I didn't know anything. Like I could barely even type my name on a keyboard. I didn't even have fucking email. You know what I mean? I didn't have fucking email. You know, I was using like Yahoo or some fucking bullshit like that. You know, you laugh now, but that was the big thing. Yahoo. They send you this little disc. You know, you gotta stick it in the computer. Yeah. You know, and so I told myself, I was like, fuck, you know, I need to change my life and get into something that, you know, I'm good at. And this was the only thing I was good at.
Yeah.
Is art.
Yeah.
And visual. So that's what I did. I kind of like put my head down. I blocked everything out and finished my fucking course. And luckily, I got a job.
Nice.
You know, and I started from the bottom, like the fucking bottom. Like I got into this place called Bardell, and at first I was called a render wrangler. I don't know, in render wrangler meaning I would sit in front of a computer staring at
The bar.
bars
Yeah.
and seeing if things would fail. So there would be artists that would send information into a big render farm, and I would just sit there and see, you know, the process and how long it's taking, and then I'd have to like email someone like, hey, your job is taking over whatever hours, yada yada. Oh, this job is failing, and I would sit there and I'd literally, you know, I'd go around and just kind of like talk to people. In my industry, it's all about who you know and your contacts, and you have to have this this way you can like how do you say interact with people. Because if you're just sitting there minding your own business and just staring at the computer, you know, your next job or the next movie or the next show or whatever, your producer will always recognize the person. Like, oh, you know, I think Barry would be good for this. You know, you just you get that rapport from everyone. So I would literally always get up and ask for people, hey, do you want some coffee? Yada, yada. I'd just get out and present myself into other people, and you know, and when I see people go out for a smoke,
you join them.
Shit, there's a producer out there. Oh, there's a supervisor on this department.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I'm gonna go. So I go out there, have a smoke with them, and just talk to them. You know, and I'm like, hey, you know, how's it going? Yada yada, and I just built this rapport. And next thing you know, the next show that they were doing, they said, hey, do you wanna do some modeling?
Yeah.
And fuck, man, I wasn't a modeler at all.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll fucking model. So I went home. I got I downloaded a burnt copy of this thing called Maya. Is where you build objects in 3D space.
Yeah, my brother used that too.
Yeah, and so I'm like at home, didn't sleep. You know, I'm just practicing on Maya, just like building shit because I was a compositor. I was a visual effects compositor, lighter, and then so the next week is when I started this new role, and right away they're like, yeah, here, make some boxes. I'm like, oh, fucking boxes? I fucking stayed up all night every single day trying to build characters and all this stuff, and you're giving me a fucking box?
Yeah.
But hey, you know, that box turned into a ladder.
Yeah.
That ladder turned into a house.
Yeah.
That house turned into a tree, you know, and yada yada, so forth and so forth, and built into a character. But that wasn't really my passion. Like, modeling wasn't my passion.
Yeah.
And I traveled from that department to surfacing. Surfacing department is like putting textures onto objects. Yeah, modeling. You know, you build a character, you need to put skin. You know, you gotta build a texture and put like skin and SS shaders and all of this other stuff and so forth and so on. And then so I dabbled in every department pretty much. I went from one department to another and to another to another till I got to a position that I wanted to be in. And that was all for me just talking to people like from another department. They don't know me. I had to go out and talk to them and have them know me. And because of the way I would present myself, I'm always like if you go to my work and you ask people like, oh yeah, that's Barry, he's got that crazy stash. Oh yo, he's always got he's dressed like he's fucking going to a club. Yada yada. But for me, that's how I express myself. You know what I mean? And every time my work is big. Like, you know, there's over like, I don't know how many people, like 200 something people. But when you go to like little events where you're all crew, I don't know everybody's name, but they'll be like, hey, yeah, I see you all the time. Yada, yada, yada. And that's how I get that rapport from people. And that's how I traveled from, you know, getting coffee from people all the way to where I am at right now. You know, without that skill set, like I'm knowledgeable in all these other things, but without that skill set of what I was doing to promote myself to get onto the position I want is what I think people have to do. Because in this industry, it's cutthroat, right?
Sink or swim.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like when I started, you know, there was yay many people, and you know, nowadays it's, you know, me and this other guy that I know that are still doing it to this point, really.
What is the position? What was that position that you're working your way up into?
I worked my way up all the way to supervisor position.
Oh, okay.
So I supervised lighting and compositing.
Oh, okay.
And I was like a soup for smaller companies.
I see.
Yeah. Well, from that barred out position, I went all the way to becoming a soup. In a span of like, I think it was 3 years. Yeah.
The grind.
I grinded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I stayed late nights. Back in the days, they would make you, well, they wouldn't make you, but you would try to finish your work and they wouldn't pay you OT. You know, they would give you dinners. This was back in the days. This was when there were like a handful of studios in Vancouver, you know, and then we pretty much had this sinkhole where the American economy just kind of broke. And everyone that was from America that had companies in Canada pulled back and left. And that's when I moved to Australia.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because there was no jobs here anymore, right? There was only a handful, and the people that were in these positions weren't leaving. So I moved all the way to Australia and lived there for a year and a half to work over there. And then when I came back, the industry started getting better and better.
I see. And that's when you started working for Sony?
I started working for other different companies before Sony, and then I finally got into Sony.
Oh, I see.
I've been there for about, I think, 3 years.
Oh, that's great.
Or more.
Oh, that's when I always saw you downtown, right?
Yeah.
When we see each other.
Yeah.
I see. Like back when I used to work in downtown, I used to work at the Bay, the Top Shop department, and sometimes I would see Barry, just grabbing like a coffee or something, or going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sick. I did not know that. Knowing this part about you, it's really touching because like I'm your younger cousin.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know too much at the time.
Oh yeah,
right?
you were young.
Yeah.
Right.
But knowing this, that's really heartwarming. Like
Yeah.
that's real pure grind. Yet like I understand that you have to really like interact with all these people, like everyone.
Well, the thing is, no one's gonna help you in life. Right?
Exactly. No one's gonna help.
No one's gonna help you.
Yeah.
Like when I did what I had to do to get to where I am at, I had no support from anyone. The only real support I had was my mom. Really, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
She was my only support, really. That she would like. I would have had no money going to college, and she would kind of scrape whatever she can to give me something for gas money. You know, and of course I did a little side things here and there to make some money to provide myself to go through this whole college thing without working, because I didn't want to work during the time I wanted to focus all on school. So this was also when online poker was really big.
Oh yeah.
When it started booming. So I would like literally be working on my stuff, and I had a little bar where it's like online poker, and I'd just play that.
Yeah.
I'd make a little $100 here and there. You know, I'd wait till I had pocket aces. I had all day because I'm working on the computer, so I'd just wait till I had like pocket aces or something, and yada yada yada. But that's how I pretty much got through this thing. And the CDIS prior before, when I did apply, they wanted a portfolio, which I didn't have, because back in the days, you like I said, you needed to show that you have some kind of artistic ability, because they didn't want to waste your money. It cost $35,000, just for like, I think it was 2.5 years. It was supposed to be 3 years, but I cut it to 2.5 because I didn't take any breaks.
Yeah.
So during that time, I didn't have any kind of like portfolio or nothing like that at all. So before I went to CDIS, I went to Emily Carr.
Yeah.
I went to Emily Carr. Before I even knew what I wanted to fucking do, after this whole debacle of working at Bell Mobility and stuff like that, I bumped in and ran into my art teacher, which he was like, hey, you know, what are you up to? And I told him what I was up to. I was like, oh, fuck, I'm working at yada, 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 at Bell Mobility doing this. And he's like, really? He goes, you're really good at art. Like, I would get literally straight A's all the time at art class. Whatever it was, I would like just fucking... that's the only thing I was good at, and that's the only class I would never skip. You know, I'd skip every fucking class except for art class. And so he talked me into like, you know, going in, getting into some kind of field of like arts, or he wanted to say, you can be an art teacher, go do this and that. And you know, I wasn't feeling that anyway.
No.
You know, but then he directed me to go. I asked him about where can I get a portfolio done. He goes, Emily Carr. So that's where I went. I went to Emily Carr, and I did just a plain old art foundation class just to build up my portfolio, doing life drawing, because my background was graffiti. So you know, I never did any chalk or kind of fucking pottery kind of fucking bullshit. None of that, right? So I had to go through all of that. First off, before I even got into there, And my last project, you know, I'm not gonna badmouth Emily Carr, but it just wasn't for me. Back in that day, there were a lot of very, you know, it just wasn't. It was so conformed to them that it wasn't
About this.
it wasn't about like I'm like straight like, you know, I like hip hop, like,
Yeah.
you know, back in the day before even Banksy was even big, you know, people didn't like graffiti. It wasn't considered an art form.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a crime.
And you know, the times have changed, right? And that's the thing. Like when I went to Emily Carr, it was supposed to be like painting and all this fucking bullshit, and these colors,
Like
and
clean
all this,
art.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like these old ass fucking art shit.
Yeah.
You know, and they make me read like fucking these books.
Yeah.
and old ass fucking,
Man.
you know, and I had to memorize all this shit, right? And you know, I've never used it, right? Yeah, I get the gist of everything.
Yeah.
You know, I get the gist of everything, but the teacher, fucking forgot her name. This bitch.
Don't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I totally forgot her name, but she would. My last project was like, you know, build whatever you learned and kind of like put it together and, you know, showcase your final project. So what I did, I was like so into hip hop and stuff like that and graffiti. So I did this whole. I got this canvas and I cut out these little pictures and colors and built like I don't know if you it was probably back in the days, but there's this rapper called Cannabis, and he used to battle with. He had this rap song called First Round Knockout that he was going against LL Cool J. So I built this little mural of them kind of battling it out, and then I did some graffiti on it and yada yada yada. And it was something at that time that I was feeling. Like I listened to a lot of battle raps. This is when like you know, when Tupac and all of them, and you know, and it was just in me. And when I presented that, the teacher was just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what is this? And I couldn't, you know, and to me, that was like a slap in the face.
Yeah.
And I was just like, fuck. I'm like, and after that, I was like, I got what I needed from this fucking place. So I took, you know, my life drawing stuff and all that, put a big portfolio, and then I presented it to CDI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it wasn't me just jumping into there. It was like another process of me getting into this. So it was a long fucking road.
Yeah.
And it was something that I wish I started earlier, but like once I graduated and stuff. Yeah. But you know, once you graduate, you don't know what the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
You just want to go out and drink and party and do all that other shit. But if I knew that, I would have got into this industry even sooner, you know. But hey, I'm here now.
That's right. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, I wouldn't have to go through this whole fucking road to get where I'm at. But
yeah,
I'm here now and hopefully be here for a longer time.
What did the teachers say about the final piece that you created with all the
she didn't like it. She said it wasn't art.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how do you? I want to ask you, how do you feel about people looking at art? Because art is completely subjective.
Oh yeah,
right.
It's your opinion.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Right. So if you were to change how art, especially in education, was graded, you know,
I wouldn't even grade art.
Yeah. So you would still kind of have to pass the course in a way.
Yes.
So if you did have to, let's say, I know you didn't want to be a teacher, right? But let's say you did have to become a teacher and create a grading scale or a grading rubric.
Yeah.
Like tell me how you'd go about that.
Dude, I would first ask them what they were feeling and what they were thinking when they were created this.
Yeah.
And from that, it's a subjective thing for me. Like, I can't say your shit, you know, what you did is shit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it might not be, I might not like it, but somebody else might, you know? And I wouldn't even, I seriously would not even grade them. I would ask them, what do you think you deserve from this project? Yeah. That's it. And
Yeah.
whatever they asked, whatever they said, If they had that confidence to say it's an A,
Yeah.
then it's an
Then
A.
it's an A.
You know, if
Yeah.
they say, oh, I don't know, I really didn't work on it.
Yeah.
You know, could be better,
Yeah.
you know? And then you can say, okay, this guy wasn't really into what he was doing. But if
Exactly.
someone is there and he built like some dragon out of like newspaper and, you know, put some blood on it or whatever, some
Yeah.
gothic kind of, and he was like, yo, this is what I was thinking, I love it. Da, da, da. I mean, that's his passion. You can't take him down his,
Yeah.
you know, take him down the steps. Like, he loves it. He likes it.
Yeah.
You know, he put everything into it. So who am I to say his shit
Yeah.
sucks?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I could put out something and he might walk in, he might say it sucks, but I think it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
You know, hey, it's to each their own,
Yeah.
right? So I wouldn't, I don't know. School to me, like I was never a fucking straight A student, so
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It's all subjective. If whatever you feel like you put that effort into it is what you deserve.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never put any effort into like math or social studies or whatever I fucking did. So and that's the grade I deserve.
Yeah.
If they asked me at that time, what do you think about your grade in social? Well, shit, I was barely here.
Yeah.
You know, I deserve a pass at least. No pass, right? But you know, if it's something that I'm very passionate in, like you guys are very passionate in doing your podcast. Who say that your podcast sucks?
Yeah.
Right? Who are they?
Yeah.
Right? It's to each their own, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely.
You know, you can't let those people like put you down. If that ever happened, if I let that teacher put me down, I wouldn't be where I am at right now.
Yeah.
So, you know, fuck her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah, straight up. I'm here now, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to stick on the art side, and like you being an art student, you've seen a lot of art, right? And I know you may say, "Oh no, to each their own" and stuff like that, but you gotta admit, there's some art out there that makes you really question. Oh, I really wonder what they were thinking. This is some weird kind of art right now.
Yeah.
So have you ever seen?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And
so
that's
tell me the weirdest kinds of arts that you've seen.
That's exactly what I would say. I was like, what was this person thinking?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Give me
like-
an example though. Like, what was it that made you think that way?
Dude, I don't even know. I really don't. There's just so many out there. I mean, it's not even just art.
Yeah.
Like, it's even fashion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what are these people wearing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's also art.
Yeah.
You know, fashion is art.
Yeah.
You know, or even cooking. That's art.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and me looking at someone's plate and it's like a mash full of like a mountain full of whatever rice and some kind of like
Yeah.
sauce and it looks like shit,
Yeah.
but when you eat it,
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
fucking good.
It tastes good.
You know what I mean? So I mean that's the thing. There's a lot that I would kind of question, but I wouldn't say that it was bad
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not saying that at all.
or nothing like that at all. It's just different.
Yeah.
It's different. Sometimes it's not my taste. Some
Yeah.
of it is not my taste.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? But I don't know. I don't know what I've seen to make me question, you know, if it was bad or not. I just always in my head be like, what was he thinking?
Yeah, yeah.
What's the reason behind this art piece or whatever? And yo, I haven't been to, you know, I haven't been to every art gallery in the fucking world. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I really don't know.
Yeah. There's a topic that I want to also get into. You like music. Everybody likes music,
Oh,
right?
yeah, for
Considering like you were making art with rap,
Yeah.
associated with rap. So I want to ask, in music, have you seen the John Mayer Hot Ones episode? You know Hot Ones.
I know
right?
Hot Ones. I didn't see the John
There was a
Mayer one.
question that Sean Evans asked. Do you ever find a difficulty between making art for yourself and making art for the world? So I kind of want to ask you the same thing. Like, do you want to put yourself out there by making easy art, just so that everyone will like it, or do you want to be the crazier side of art and say, "Whoa, that's kind of crazy," but that's 100% your masterpiece, and you're 100% proud of that?
That's what I did when I was younger.
Yeah.
I created art for myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, And that's pretty much what I did.
Yeah.
That's for myself, not for anyone else. Now that I'm older, it's different.
Yeah.
You know, I've got to live. I've got to survive.
Yeah.
I've got to make money.
Yeah.
And doing things for yourself and building something, it's a hard thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and for other people that did it and are doing it, congrats to them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a hard fucking thing to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think I could do it. For me, I rather put art that other people would like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I like seeing the smiles on people's faces.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like when I make a movie or whatever, you know, and I go in the theater and people are laughing or people are smiling and they're
Yeah.
telling me like, oh my God, that shit was awesome.
Yeah,
That shit was
yeah.
amazing. That fucking makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know? If I did my art and put dicks and shit on the screen, you know, people are like, what the fuck is this guy
Exactly.
fucking
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And hey, it changes.
Yeah.
For me, it changed.
Yeah.
When I was younger and I didn't know much,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I had no worries in the world, I
Yeah.
would only do art for me,
Yeah.
you know, and for myself.
Yeah.
But now that I'm older, I'd
Yeah.
rather do it for other people and make them happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how I go about it.
Yeah.
I would love, you know, to make art and, you know, for myself and to sell to
Mhm.
the public and yada yada yada, you know. But I don't even think I don't think I'm there yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm stuck in this I'm stuck in this industry, and if this industry doesn't go well for me, maybe that's the route I should take.
Yeah.
I know some people that have been doing that been painting all the time, you know, and they're struggling. You know what I mean? They're still at it. They're
Mhm.
still at it. They're still trying to sell their stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they're still living in a basement. They're still like, you know, asking for help from other people and yada yada yada. Me, I'm the type of person I hate asking for help. I'd rather do everything myself.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I'm at the point I am right now. I'd rather work for a company that pays me and
Yeah.
for me to like try to go out there and sell
Yeah.
something and
Mhm.
you know. But that's a side gig. I'll sell shoes and shit.
There you
But
go.
not my art. I sell people what people want. Like
Yeah.
I can't force you know, whatever an art piece that I have down your throat and say, hey, can you support me and fucking buy this for
Yeah.
fucking $25
Yeah.
or $100? You know.
Yeah. But it's good that you are creating for the world, but at the same time for yourself, because you do like what you're doing, right?
Oh, I love what I'm doing.
Perfect.
Mhm.
But
I wouldn't do anything else right now.
yeah.
This is at this point. I always, when I was a little kid, I would sit in front of the TV every Saturday morning and just drawing whatever I saw on the TV. You know, I draw like whatever, Bart Simpson or Tom and Jerry or, you know, I don't even know if you guys even know.
No,
Tom
we know
and Jerry.
them. We know those guys.
You
that
know,
young.
yeah, like
Not that
DuckTales, you know,
Oh,
all
yeah.
of that
Cat
stuff.
dog, come on.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I would draw. I'd literally draw. And when I was younger, my dream was like, oh my God, this is what I want to do. I want to I want to draw.
Yeah.
And I would never thought in my fucking million years that I'd ever get into a place where I pretty much made my dream come true
Yeah.
on myself, on my own. And getting an Oscar from the last movie I did just put a fucking cherry on top of it,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And at this point, I'm just like, fuck, dude. I reminisce on where I started and where I'm at right now. Hey, you know, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. I mean, I could be better, but at this point in time, I'm good.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love it. Sweet. Hold on. Everything okay?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I want to ask you, when you were working as like a renderer, or when you're just watching the bars and
Mhm.
everything, you had to probably take a break from art at the time, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you weren't really doing what you love. You just had to like adapt. And
I had to adapt and format to that environment. Really.
Yeah.
You know, I was still, of course, doodling on the side.
Yeah.
As I'm watching these little bars go up and down, but yeah, I pretty much, like, I literally haven't touched a pencil and drew something on a piece of paper in like forever.
Yeah.
I don't even remember doing that.
Yeah.
It's been such a long time. Everything I'm doing is all on computer now. I don't even remember picking up a spray can anymore. Yeah.
Would you, if you had the time?
If I had the time,
yeah.
yeah, for sure. If I had the time, you know, if I can come up with something and someone let me, you know.
For sure. It's like I have a drink in one hand and then just roll out.
Yeah, exactly. Smoke a joint, have a beer, and do some art, right?
That'd be
for
dope.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
That, you know, that's a vacation for me.
We're okay?
Yeah, we're good. Just keep on.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't mind it.
Okay.
I want to ask though, tell me how far is the gap between the stuff that you want to do and the stuff that people want to see?
The gap?
Yeah. Like how close are they? How similar are they, or how different are they?
I don't know. I'm older now.
Yeah.
I mean, I you know, when I was younger, yeah, of course, I would think like, oh fuck, you know, I'd love to make like some graffiti come to life and, you know, jump at a screen in 3D and yada yada yada. But my gap has changed, you know. What I was thinking when I was younger to where I'm at right now is so different.
Yeah.
Right? There is no more gap for me.
Yeah.
You know, right now I'm thinking about my future.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking of where I want to be next. You know, like how far in my industry I want to get to.
Yeah.
Do I want to become a director one day?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, do I want to go back into supervising a team? Do I want to, you know, pitch a movie? Do I want to do that? I think that is where my next adventure would be. It's not saying what I want anymore. You know, it's not what I think is cool and what people would like. And for me, it's my future. I want to get into a position in a place in my life where I think I would help other people get their creative juices and build up whatever. I remember when I was supervising, I went into this small company, and we built this small little company. We were in like a little building as small as this. We had, our render farm was really small. We had like, who knows, less than 20 people in the office trying to put a little short together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And building that up and then we had to move to get into a bigger space. And I think that's, you know, and I thought that's where I wanted to be at, you know, but as time goes, things change. My life started changing, you know, and it was like, oh, do I really want to
stay?
Do I really want to take hold over a team, you know, and be responsible for deadlines for these people? And we can't afford really good guys. We had to get people from out of school.
I see.
And pay them like, you know, just minimum wages in 3D, and you know, and we can't afford OT. You know, we can't afford these budgets. And seeing, you know, they become your friends, and seeing them work late nights without them getting paid, it fucking hurts. Right? And it's like, do I really want to do this anymore? You know, and you know, once you get older in the future, I'm like, fuck it, you know, I don't want to do this. So I had to move companies, get into a better place. And I think that's my gap now, is just bouncing and ensuring that, you know,
that your life is secure.
My life is secure, you know. That art stuff that I thought was cool back in the days, I mean, that's my past, you know, and I'm trying to go for the future.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's it.
I want to, like, yeah, let's, I wanted to talk about, like, what was your favorite project to work on? Like as of recent, aside from Spider-Verse.
Aside from Spider-Verse,
Yeah.
I think it was Sausage Party.
Sausage Party, hilarious movie.
Yeah.
Do you guys watch that?
Yeah, we all watched it together.
Oh yeah, we did. No,
in
yeah, we
theater.
did.
We watched it in theater.
Yeah, I think that was a really cool project to be at. You know, we would Skype with Seth Rogen.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's sweet.
There was a Skype with Seth Rogen, and his laughter was infectious. So like just a normal conversation, and he would do that laugh. It made everyone laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the cool thing is like you're working at cartoon, but it's like it's like an R-rated cartoon.
Yeah.
That was a big twist.
It was crazy. It was like I remember there's one shot I did. There was like shit on the floor, and I had to light this and render this piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know? And it turns around, there's these corns that start speaking.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, and then I had my buddy right beside me. He was doing the condom shot, and you know, with all this jizz inside the condom, and me and him we're cracking the fuck up.
I know, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm telling him, yo man, go on the website, and I go, that's not how jizz and condom look. Go on the website and get some reference, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, we just have this little batter, and the whole environment was just like hanging out with your friends.
Yeah.
You know, and just talking shit, and not caring of, you know, the upper management saying, hey, you can't say that.
Yeah.
You can't, like, you know, and it was really cool. It was a cool show to work on, but the company, I'm not gonna tell the company,
Point Grey?
wasn't really a good company to work for.
With Point Grey?
Huh?
With Point Grey?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, it wasn't Point Grey. It was, they outsourced it to this other company
Oh.
that didn't really treat their employees.
Oh damn.
Yeah. They didn't treat them really, especially the animators. They did not treat them. There's this big whole thing on some animation websites where they were like just getting bombarded. They were asking them to stay late, not getting paid. For me, I was like a senior, so they would ask me, hey, you know, you got to finish your shot. I'm like, well, it's 6 o'clock, and they're like, are you gonna pay me overtime? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, log out.
Yeah. Peace out.
Peace out. Like, I've been in the industry for a while, that I know, you know, that, you know, you can't really make me do that.
No. Yeah.
Right? So.
Yeah. See. But let's go into more detail of what you do exactly. Let's say in those movies. Let's say Sausage Party, for example.
It's all the screening and.
Well, what I do, I'm a lighting / compositor. So I would take everything from every department. Yeah. You know, from the animation department, the rigging department, surfacing, effects, and I'd grab all of their assets and we'd put it all into one scene. Yeah. And we build a scene. So in 3D space, you can take a camera, you can look around it. You got to scrub it, make sure that the animation sticks to the rig, and you kind of make sure you have a lot of reference that they would do play blast to say, okay, this is the file that's supposed to look like, yada yada yada. Yeah. You get color keys from the art department. Yeah. And once you get this color key, so it'll be like a drawing, just like that on the wall, and make it look like that, you know. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. So I would have to build the scene, put everything together. Yeah. I need to grab lights. I would have to set an environment. So I'd have to get a global sky, set the mood into this environment, place everything.
And this is all in the program.
This is all in the program.
Maya? Or what do you use it? What do you use?
I've used many, like there's Maya, I use Katana.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of right now I'm using Katana. But in Sausage Party I think I was using Maya.
Yeah.
I think it was Maya Renderman. I think it was. And so once you build a scene, you get the camera in it. You make sure you get the right camera.
Yeah.
And then you got to render it off. So once I do that, I have to render it off. And rendering, you can't just kind of like take this whole scene and throw it on the farm. You'll get it back in, a week because there's so much information in this scene.
It's being rendered.
It's being rendered. It's calculating all these little pixels.
Yeah.
Right. So it's going into little circles, like calculating all these pixels out of it.
Frame by frame.
Frame by frame, right? So I have to break it up. So I would have to break up characters, make sure these characters are casting shadows onto the ground.
Yeah.
These reflections are hitting these the characters, or they're also reflecting from the ground.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of real world kind of lighting that's involved with it. And once I break it up, I'll send it to the farm.
Yeah.
And then I get that information from the farm like maybe the next day or the day after. I'll get it all back. And now it's in 2D.
Yeah.
So all of the 3D stuff that I've done, it all comes back to me in 2D pixels. So it's all 2D. And then I have to go into another program. Either Nuke, After Effects, whatever people use. I usually use Nuke. And we put them together again. So it's like a puzzle. So we're putting all these layers back in together again. And then once you put that, and then you got to add atmosphere, and then you got to do debugging, all of this kind of stuff, and you show it to the director. And director will be like, well, can you get rid of this? Can you do that? Or change the lighting, add a rim to this character. So you got to go back into Maya again.
Yeah.
Do that whole setup on
The
that
director Seth?
No, just a normal director.
Oh, okay.
Whoever.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Of the
Seth was
department?
just a producer.
Oh,
There's
I
other
see.
directors and whatever.
Yeah.
So once you get all that and you build it back, and it's a whole process of you just showing your director likes it, gets the okay, perfect. Once that is done, now if you are doing it if you're converting it into 3D for movies, you know how you can watch Spider-Man and spiders and everything, you have to wear those glasses and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's another process. You got to convert it into stereo.
Yeah.
So you take all of those elements again, you go back into Maya, you get another camera, you put it on the left and the right eye,
Yeah. So
you render that off, you bring it back into another program, and then you have to put it back together again with that. And then you got to wear these glasses and see if everything is in perspective.
Yeah.
If it's not, there's something wrong you did.
Whoa.
So that's my process.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, it seems like a lot of work. Like it'll take you like one shot will take you like a week, sometimes two, depending on how big the shot is.
The shot meaning like how long in seconds?
It totally depends.
Yeah.
It could be 36 seconds. It could be like whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
So let's say a 30-second shot. How long would that take in a week to create?
A week.
A week.
Yeah.
So 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Small details, like
yeah.
every single frame.
it's just that's what it is. Right?
Yeah.
But you have multiple teams.
Mhm.
It's not just me. It's all these other people that
Yeah.
are also doing it, and you get a certain sequence
Yeah.
on your team. You know what I mean? And a lot of times it's like it gets easier. So I build a scene, and the next shot it's like a movie. It's like back and forth.
Yeah.
Right? You look at the camera's on you, camera one, camera two, camera one, camera two. I've already done one step. So all I have to do is just reuse whatever I did
Yeah.
and render that off.
Yeah.
And that just gets easier until you get into a new scene, like an outdoor scene or whatever, and then you got to do that whole setup again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you play a lot of games?
I used to.
Used to? What
I
kind of
used
games do you
to.
play?
A lot of fighting games, I
Yeah.
think it was.
Street Fighter?
Yeah, Street Fighter, Mortal
Tekken?
Kombat,
Mortal Kombat?
kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nowadays, no.
Yeah.
I don't even have mobile games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey.
I don't have that time.
Yeah.
Really, I wish I had some time off. I did buy God of War. And
The newest one?
The new one.
the newest one.
Yeah.
I know it's old,
Hmm.
but I've never played it. I haven't played it, so I bought it. I had like some time off, and so I was like, okay, fuck, I'm gonna try to
Uh-huh.
play a game. So I took it home, put it in the PS4. I haven't turned on this PS4 for a while. So once I turned it on, I had fucking updates. I was like, what the fuck? 2-hour update to update my PS4.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, fuck. Whatever, I'll go to the gym. I come back. It's done. I'm like, sweet. Now I get to play this fucking... I fucking pop in the game.
Yeah.
You gotta
You gotta update the game.
You gotta install the game.
That fucking game and install it.
Yeah.
And that said like another hour and 40. I'm like, fuck this. Fuck it. I just turned it off, man.
Yeah.
I said, I'm walking the dog, man. I ain't gonna deal with this shit.
So you should have left it and walked the dog.
It's
so
there.
annoying.
Yeah, no.
It's there.
Yeah.
If I have that time again and that patience, you know, I'll try.
That was me when GTA 5 came out.
Dude,
I bought it.
That takes long to
Dude, that's like
install,
60 gigs, 70 gigs. Probably took like 2 hours just for it to install and then update. Yeah. But the reason I ask about the whole game stuff is because I feel like two are somewhat related in terms of what your style is in what you do with the movie industry.
Yeah,
so have you ever
I did work for games.
Yeah, what'd you do? Tell us about it.
I did I did the Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
I did Medal of Honor.
And this is the same role that you had in the movie industry.
Yeah, it's the same the same thing. But I did cutscenes.
Yeah.
So that was my role in it.
Yeah.
I did like all the cutscenes. What else did I do? I think it's gaming and the movie is totally different. In gaming, it's so like the attention to detail is not as much as
as the
movies.
Yeah.
Right. And with the gaming, like there's a lot of times it's like in lighting gaming that you can do. I don't know. For me, I'm not a gamer. So when I did work for a gaming company, all I did was the cinematics.
Yeah.
You know, it's all the cutscenes. That's all I did. They asked me to do like these in lighting fucking renders or whatever. I was like, nah, dude, I ain't doing that shit.
Yeah.
But that's I did that for about like maybe a year, I think. But it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't too. I mean, the projects were cool.
Yeah.
In gaming, they let you do whatever the fuck that you sort of want. It's like, hey, add a lens flare. That's fucking cool.
Because they don't know much, right? So
no, it's not that. You just want it to pop.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You know, make it look cool and shit like that. You know what I mean? Who cares if it's not real world reflections or yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was cool. It was cool to work for. It was a cool experience. But I wouldn't want to work in gaming too much.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'd go back. I like the movies. I did television before. Television is like their deadlines is like every Friday. You have a week to do like fucking 100 and something shots or 200 and something shots. You and your team.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a fucking fast pace. You know, and it's you have to do. There's a lot of cutting involved. You know, so it's like you the render times have to be really short. You know, you have to get it back like instant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What show was this?
These were like Nickelodeon shows that I did.
Oh, like Viva Pinata?
Yeah, stuff like that.
Oh, you did that too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've done a lot, eh?
Yeah, I've done a bunch of a bunch of like TV stuff.
Yeah.
And kids little things here and there. But I like the movies because you can take a longer time and make it look like
how you want it.
How I want it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Like when you get to touch Spider-Man, it wasn't like just putting things together and rendering it off and bringing it back and splashing it together.
Yeah.
You really had to take you really needed to know comics and how shadow works, and you had to get what do you call those the dots and the shadow lines in right places and kind of like make it look cool, you know, and make these colors pop out, and make it look like a fucking comic, you know, and it took a long time. Like that process was insane. It was long hours. and I was going back and forth of what looks cool or not, and seeing if it transfers into stereo, because all of those little pixels and all those little dots and all of the hatching is those lines that you see across the character's face.
Yeah.
You need to translate all of that into stereo as well. So
Yeah.
when you look at it in 3D, that's what I was telling everyone if they ever did watch it. I was like, did you watch it in 2D or 3D? Because in 3D it looks fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
I watched it in 2D.
Yeah,
So.
and I hate 3D movies. I don't like
Yeah.
watching 3D.
It hurts my
movies.
eyes.
Yeah, it does too.
Yeah.
But when I saw Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse in 3D, I was like, yeah, we made it for like this. Like,
Alright.
yeah.
I might just watch it in 3D then if it's still in the theaters.
I don't think it's in the theaters.
I'm so late, right?
Yeah, so late.
I'll rip a 3D one.
Yo, man, don't rip it. Fucking buy it, bro. Shit.
Then I gotta wait.
So everyone's saying like, yeah, I'll go watch it on the box or download it. I'm like, bro, man, just fucking buy it.
Yeah. That's so funny. Because you're actually like you help the movie, right? So you want to sell it.
I want to sell it. Yeah.
Don't pirate it.
Yeah, I want to make more of it, right? Like, shit.
How long did it take to make Spider-Man?
The whole process, I think it took them over 2 years.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in my department inside, I think it took us a year. I think it was. I jumped in halfway through that because I was working on another show. I was working on Smallfoot, and then I jumped right into.
Jesus Christ, man!
Yeah.
You got a lot under your name.
Yeah, I did that, and then I jumped right into Spider-Man. I had like no break at all, and then I ran through all that, and then I took 2 months off because I was working like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was dying. Like I just needed some sun.
Yeah.
And I just needed a break. I just needed some time for myself, really. And that's what's good in this industry. Like you can take that time off and go onto a new show or go onto a new studio and find work there. In this industry is based mostly on what's available.
Yeah.
Right. So, I remember, I had a friend that was a teacher, and he was teaching 3D, and I would go to his class at times and help him out, and I would do like a little speech, and these kids would ask me questions, and they're all joyous and be like, oh yeah, we're gonna get into this industry, and they're all greeny, and I'm like, I like to tell them the truth, and I told them, I'm like, half of you guys aren't even gonna get a job, half of you guys will. Half of you guys will leave this industry and move on to something else because it's not for everybody. It's a fucking tough industry. It's a long hours. You sometimes you have no life really. And then like even trying to know what your future holds, like you're pretty much hopping onto show to show. If there's no show at that time, you got to move to a different company. You know what I mean? And you got to travel sometimes. There's people in this industry that are from the States, from the UK, from Australia. They all come down here to Vancouver. And they take their family, and they would work for 6 months, and then that's it. And then they had to move somewhere else. It's a very, very tough industry, and a lot of times these schools nowadays just want to get their money. And not telling these kids that, hey,
yeah, man, that's the tough part now. Oh, sorry, the tough part now.
Yeah, it's like in any, like back in the days, no one wanted to do this. No one. There was no big demand for like, editing or all that. Like these schools, everybody was doing something else.
Yeah.
And now this new generation, all they want to do is play video games and want to work at a fucking video game company and want to do that and that. Thinking that it's easy to get in, thinking that, it's all fun and games, but it's really not. Like, when you see your product on the screen, you're happy, but you kind of realize, like, holy shit, how long that took to do this thing?
Sweat and tears.
Yeah. When I watch stuff, I'm like, God damn, I remember how hard it was to get this shot fucking through the director.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? and it went like that, and it was on the screen
Yeah.
for a couple of
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that
And it wasn't
took
even
me-
an important scene,
Yeah.
right? Or
and
something like
that
that.
took me 2 weeks to get
Yeah.
through, you know? Stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, but when you like I said, when you see the smile on people's faces, and you know, you get this recognition, and you're just like, hey, fuck, man, it was all worth it.
Yeah.
At the end.
Have you ever said no to a project before? A project was offered to you. Hey man.
Yeah, I did.
I got a pitch for you. This is what the story's gonna be. This is what ideas are coming to my head. This is what I want it to look. You ever said no?
I had a lot of people when I first got into this industry. There were a lot of like directors and all that kind of. It's like, hey, we need some visual effects and we need someone cheap. And I was doing like freelance kind of stuff. But that never really worked out.
Mm-hmm.
I did a bunch of freelance stuff and I hated it. You know, because the directors, they were so picky, and they wanted to look like a fucking, you know, that ILM did it.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you hired a freelancer.
Yeah.
One guy.
Yeah.
I'm rolling on a fucking on this computer with this little tower.
Yeah.
that could only render as much. I mean, you're getting what you're getting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What were those projects that you said no to?
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
They weren't even like big projects. They were
Yeah.
all like people starting off
Yeah.
that wanted just some visual effects in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like those guys would rather have their name out there rather than everybody's name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're looking for people hella cheap, but
Yeah.
at the same time, hey, I'm forcing you to look at, like, to make something like J.J. Abrams, you know,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Oh, dude, I remember there was this one guy. He wanted me to do head replacement, so he wanted this head on some other person. I'm like, fuck, dude.
What kind of art is this, man?
Dude, you're paying me $100.
Yeah.
Like, come on. This is when I was trying to get my, you know,
Your name?
my name out there too, right? I remember I did one where this director, I worked for this company called Nostalgia, and they weren't there. I was just doing freelance for them, and so this director had this shot of this lady, blonde hair, going in the wind, just walking, no green screen, nothing like that at all. She's just walking, and then the director's like, okay, so I want this girl to walk and then transition into night and into a dream. And I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna key out the hair?
the
Like, she has
colors.
blonde hair,
Yeah.
and it's blowing in the wind, and you know, and I had to like literally frame by frame. Keying out is like taking a certain color, like
Yeah.
a green screen, and removing that image so you can have a plate, like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
a solid of that character. And that took me like forever to just do every single
Yeah.
frame. And then I had to roto. Roto is like taking like a tool and kind of like getting every little part of this person.
And plus
And-
the hair is like moving, right?
Yeah, it was
Uh-huh.
it
Wow.
was insane. So I had to do trickeries to get by that. You know what I mean? I had to isolate just the hair itself, and then roto out the whole body and just the face. I did a bunch of shit, but at the end of it, I got it through. But it was hard work, and it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't worth it. And so from that point on, I was like, I'm not doing any kind of fucking freelance anymore. And people would, and from that, he would call his friends and be like, hey, you know, I know a guy, he did this for me. And then he'd be like, okay, we want, another guy, he had this, he got pulled from a glass, and he had these straps on him. And he asked me, okay, I want you to remove the strap. So it looks like he's just flying backwards. So remove the strap. And each reflection on the glass had the strap and all this stuff. And the strap is going through these little particles of glass. And I had to paint out everything and roto things. And, you know, it got to a point where I did all of that, you know, and then I had everything in different layers. And I was like, okay, I'm done doing all of this hard work, like all of these, like, you know, keying out, rotoing, painting. And he goes, okay, cool, now you can give it to this guy. And then there's this another guy that finishes the work, and he just does everything easily. and then he gets the recognition for that, and he got paid more.
What?
Yeah. And from that point on, I said no to everyone that came up to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And everyone, like any kind of freelance kind of thing. And I remember used to always, even in LinkedIn, you would kind of get like, hey, are you available to do this? I'd be like, no,
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
So yeah, as of now, I just want to work for like a company. I don't want to work for someone that's just starting, even though they pay me whatever amount of money. I'm like,
No.
it's not even worth
Just
it.
getting
for me.
their names out there.
Because there's no solid ground for that.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. It's not even no money
Yeah.
you can give me to just pull my hair and doing that kind of shit.
Yeah.
No.
So out of all the movies that you've done, which one's the ones that were the most challenging to you?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot involved.
Yeah.
It wasn't the normal cut and paste kind of thing, right?
Mhm.
That also was more of giving your artistic ability and kind of knowing what works and what doesn't. It also, you want to capture that mood. Like that movie has a mood to it.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just the animation. It was all that hatching. It was the music. Everything had to blend together.
Yeah.
And once you see it on screen, you feel it. Like once.
There's so much like emotion projecting from
Yeah,
the movie.
and when those action sequences come, and you hear that buzzing of the tires and just everything, and the flashes of like regular still artwork that just flashes randomly out of nowhere. It's all of those little things that kind of like makes that movie. And kind of putting your little twist on it. Just being like, hey, I think this would look cool.
Yeah.
And
Would you say that was the most fun project you've had?
that was the hardest project I had.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Which movie would you say that you've had the majority of the ideas came from you versus the director? Like he let you be the judge, and if he liked it, dope. What's going on? Basically, like you just being yourself and you creating your art, not for someone else directing you to do it.
You in this industry, there's always a director.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
There's
it's
always
tough,
a director. You can put your input on it for sure.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, it's always the director that
Yeah,
will always control whatever you do.
Yeah.
Right.
But which movie would you say was the most fun you've had creating?
Most fun.
Yeah.
It's all work.
It's all work.
Yeah.
It's not.
Nah.
It's not fun anymore. Like,
yeah.
Fun
really.
to me. My definition of fun is totally different.
Mm.
My fun is hanging out with my friends.
Yeah.
Going out to eat.
Mhm.
Not thinking about
Work.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's
Right?
work now.
Because it's work now. Yeah. Maybe when I was younger, it was fun. Like, my first ever television show was
Yeah.
probably the funnest because it was my first.
Yeah.
Right. It was my first ever project that I saw my name on the fucking TV screen.
Mhm.
And I helped create like. It was something that I had such a passion for. I had fun and I had a good crew, and that's where I developed a lot of my friends in this industry was from my first project,
Yeah.
right? And everyone that from my first project moved on into other bigger and better things, and I still talk to them. Some of them I just talk to on IG, and a lot of times I would go into another studio and I'd see them and be like, hey, and then if they're hiring, they would call me and say, hey, we have this position, like come on board, man. Like it was a great place. It was fun because of the people and everyone that I worked with during that time was the same thing. It was like we all started at the bottom. Like we all started in this in this one little small building, and we all branched out. And everyone's, I have some people that are supervisors now, directors, yada, 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 and I think that was one of the funnest projects, was my first one. Nowadays, it's all work.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the fun I get is going to the gym at lunch.
Yeah.
That's my fun.
Yeah.
Right, stepping away from the computer.
Yeah.
Like when I get home, I don't even go on the computer. The only time I go on the computer is when Supreme drop hits or something.
Yeah.
Or some kind of fucking new off-white shoe comes out and that's the only time I'm on the computer.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's it.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch up a little bit about like on your hobbies now, away from like
I
work
was literally
work
just gonna
and
talk
work
about
and
that.
computer and all that.
My
Like
hobbies
your hobby is work. When it comes to like all like the hype beast brand stuff, all the stuff that you do, like you always host a booth at SneakerCon, right? Is that what it's called?
Not this year.
Not
The SneakerCon
this
was the first that came here. I wanted to enjoy it, so I didn't get a booth. I didn't.
So you just went around
I just went around, talked to people, meet up with people, shoot the shit really, and just check out the community really. But yeah, the other times when they were here, I would always have a booth. Well, I got into sneakers. I was a hype beast before there was even fucking called a hype beast.
Yeah.
You know?
That term only came out when Tumblr started peaking, right?
So all of these new kids nowadays, they don't know. They don't even know SBs. You know what I mean? That was the first ever shoe that everybody wanted to fucking cop, right? Were SBs, and that's the first ever like you would want to resell and shit like that. But I was even in school, if you back in the days, I was always trying to get the freshest shit. I'd put together things that I'd always be different. Like I never wanted to look like someone else. If everyone was wearing black, I'm gonna wear blue.
Yeah.
If everyone was wearing blue, I'm gonna wear purple.
Yeah.
I was into kicks like, in my younger days, but I just couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
Until I started making money, and that's my hobby. I started just buying shoes, and from that point on, I would meet up with people, and I knew people from like back in the days and stuff like that, so they would help me get some shoes and all of that. And sometimes, usually, I would, I'd get 2 pairs of things, and I'd never thought I would ever make money off this thing until. I don't know. Until I started like, I had too many shoes. I need to sell some shit off. So I started selling. And next thing you know, I just got into this whole fucking reselling game and sneaker game. But a lot of the times I would buy 2 pairs, rock one, stock one.
Yeah.
If it was a shoe that I knew would be more profitable in the future, I'd just hold it. I'd stock it. But I'd always buy 2.
Yeah.
I'd always try to buy 2 pair. If I could only buy one, then hey, when it is. But if I can, it's always 2 pairs.
Yeah.
Always. And I'll rock one and stock one. Pretty much. And then when SneakerCon or whatever kind of sneaker show, I hold a booth, and everything that I collected in that year or that 2 years that are all my extras or my used stuff, I would just sell.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But, it's a hobby. It's nothing I would like make a store out of.
Yeah.
Things like that. I just like it.
Yeah.
I like to look different than the normal kind of. I want to be sort of out there when I'm working. I'm pretty much dressed like this.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel good, and I think that's what everybody wants. If you dress good, you feel good. Your day is good,
That's right.
I wake up in the morning, put a fit together, and be like, hey, fuck, I'm looking fresh today, man.
There you go.
I don't need coffee. I'm fucking, I'm ready to go.
Off to a good start.
Off to a good start. Go to work, And I don't know. I got into this reselling thing by accident, really. Yeah, it was just kind of like having too much shit.
Yeah.
But that's a bad thing too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you go, I don't know if you've been to my house. I know.
No, I haven't. No.
But I would have a room I have this little nook where it's
Just for
Just
shoes.
fucking shoes.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I would literally have to like just take some shoes I don't even use and I have to just donate them.
Yeah.
You know, even clothing wise, I have stuff that I haven't even used yet. They're still in packages.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I would get stuff from other people. Like they would send me things, so I would have so much shit that I just need to get rid of. And I think that's what happens is when that I'm like, oh, how am I gonna get rid of it? I'm gonna sell it off, and I just
You keep buying more.
well, that's a thing, and then you get that profit, and then you invest it into something else, you know. But
That cycle begins.
Mm.
Yeah, really.
What's your all-time favorite shoe?
It's nothing hype. It's
Your go-to.
well, my favorite shoe
Mm-hmm.
is probably the Fire Red 5s, Jordans.
Mm.
Because I think that was the first shoe my mom ever bought me.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how I got into, like, back in the days, Jordans were expensive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, we couldn't afford.
Yeah.
We couldn't afford Jordan. I was wearing Reeboks from Kmart, shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, I was wearing British Nikes. You guys won't probably even know those.
Nope.
Right? And but I love basketball. I love Jordan. You know, and I always wanted Jordan shoes, but my parents we weren't rich people, so she bought me these Jordan 5s, my first ever pair of Jordans, and I rocked that to death. I rocked it till the sole came out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And once it re-released again, I picked it up, and just holding it, it every time I look at it, it just reminds me of my mom.
Yeah.
So that's the most favorite shoe I have. Like, I would never sell that shoe.
Nice.
I just keep it because it's more of what it means to me than how expensive the fucking shoe is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can care less how expensive this fucking shoe is or how hard it is to get.
Yeah.
But if it's a meaning to me, that's one shoe that has that meaning to me.
Yeah, yeah.
It's because that was the first shoe my mom, like, she worked 2 fucking jobs
Yeah.
to support, our family and shit. And she came out and bought me these fucking Jordans.
Yeah.
So, rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That's a good answer though.
Yeah.
Because most people now, especially the young kids like us, right? They just be like, yo, my favorite shoe is Louis Vuitton, man, because it costs $1,000, $1,200, you know?
Yeah,
Stuff
I mean,
that.
that's the thing nowadays is people would just put together things because it's expensive
Yeah.
and what people's hype. I mean, you could buy whatever and you still won't, you still will look kind of fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like, God damn, like,
Yeah.
you put your fit together and it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, but like I said, teach your own. If it makes you feel good, then it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who am I to say, wearing those big ass Balenciaga
Yeah.
shoes,
Yeah.
like, I can't rock it,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But if you can and you feel confident enough to do it, I mean, that's what it is. Like, your whole fit is your confidence level, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel confident every time I put on something.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you feel confident, some people are like, oh, goddamn, that's fucking weird. Why is he doing all that shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's way too much. But it makes me feel good,
Yeah.
and, that's the same to everybody else.
Yeah.
Right? And, teach your own.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can, I wish I could, rock and afford, like, these $800 Balenciagas
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't want to spend my money on that.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
So,
Have you seen the I think it was a couple years ago, the Rick Owens fashion show?
No, I didn't.
He made models come out wearing models.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you never seen that?
No, I didn't see that.
So they're literally like they're walking down, and then a person is like strapped on to the person.
To the mall. What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
you've seen that, right? You've seen that? Oh man, it's hilarious.
What the heck?
I would pull one up right now. Actually.
Yeah. What?
It's so funny. You don't remember that?
Oh, I think I do.
You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that?
I think it's quite different though. Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
How do you
it's
feel
like,
about that?
It's outlandish, but it's like it's a.
I mean, that's art, right?
Yeah, like, you
Yeah,
never- you
yeah.
never
That's
quite
what it
seen
is.
before. And it made the news, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the point of like doing it. It's like,
Groundbreaking.
people, like, he
Yeah,
wants to have eyes
that's hell yeah.
What do you call that? Rick Owens.
So Rick Owens fashion show 2018.
17.
It's
on it.
2017.
Models on models.
Models on models. Yeah.
Oh.
Rick Owens models on models.
Is
How's
So there
Disney?
was no clothing on them. There was just
No,
models.
no, there's clothing.
Oh,
like
okay,
nude,
okay.
nude clothing.
Oh, okay,
nude,
okay.
nude color.
Hey,
Oh man.
it's an art show,
I don't
man.
think I can
It's not
find
about
it.
the clothing at that point.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's an
yeah.
art show.
It's an art show.
I want to ask,
Check
like,
this
do
out.
you watch a lot of movies?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like any type of movies.
Every type of movie.
Every
Yeah.
type of movie. When you watch, do you have like a different appreciation for like animation and?
I
Now.
yeah. Well, I don't like. Besides the Avengers,
Uh-huh.
you know, and that whole Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
I hate watching like visual effects movies, like Star Wars stuff like that.
Really.
Because it like every time I watch it, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, how did they do that? Oh, they probably did it this way, and yada yada yada.
really?
Oh, because you understand the whole process.
Yeah,
of it,
I
right?
understand the whole fucking process.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And it takes me out of the experience,
Oh.
right? So I like watching horror movies.
Uh-huh.
I like watching like what do you call that? Like movies you have to really like
Think about
think
Mm.
about.
Interstellar. Stuff
Yeah,
like that.
just
Mm.
like stuff that has low visual effects.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
And it's purely told through the story. And
yeah,
like all that, yeah.
exactly.
Have you watched Us?
No,
No.
I haven't watched
Jo-
that yet.
oh, okay.
No.
Jordan Peele, Get Out. You watched that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Mhm.
I've seen that. Yeah,
Yeah. All
I
right.
haven't seen Us. I heard it's good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
If you two
Oh,
have seen
man.
it, I'd love to talk about it right now.
I would,
I-
but I
I-
don't.
I
I can't
haven't
spoil
seen
though.
it.
I know. It's so hard not. It's so hard to talk about it and not spoil. You know.
This guy watched it on premiere night, and I told this guy, "Don't say one word,
Yeah,
man.
I watched
Don't even
the
say it was
first
good.
show.
Don't even say it was good, man. Just let me watch it first, and then we'll talk about it."
What did you think of Get Out?
I liked it. It was cool. It was different, for sure. But I don't know if it was a horror movie.
Yeah, no,
Mm.
I wouldn't call it a horror movie
No.
at all.
So it's
not
a
a horror movie.
psychological.
Yeah, it's
Thriller.
It
like-
makes you think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like a
Yeah.
thriller.
Have you watched Overlord?
Yes, I have.
What do you think about that movie?
That's the one with the zombies.
Zombies, yeah,
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 I guess.
almost. Yeah.
Worldwide
Kind
II.
of.
Man, I don't know.
Kind of messy. What do you think?
Uh,
Because my personal opinion, I really loved it.
it's an entertaining movie.
Uh huh.
I watched it, and I don't think I'd ever watch it again.
Yeah,
Okay,
same.
yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
I'll say
You
that.
know,
too.
I don't think I'd
Sorry.
ever watch it again.
Mhm.
I think it's a cool concept,
Mhm.
I guess, but yeah, I don't know.
Because the execution just wasn't there for you.
It's entertaining.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, you know, it's a good movie to kind of just like forget about life and let's just watch.
Quick thing though, what we had on screen is about what we're talking about the Rick Owens
Let's
stuff.
Take a look at this.
Oh no, I never seen this, man.
You haven't
What
seen
is
this?
that, bro?
So this is actually 2016. So 3 years ago. Just look at that.
What is?
That's-
All right.
I don't know, Aaron.
It's-
Is that real people?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
real people strapped on.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's
they're
dope.
real people.
Yeah.
That's dope.
yeah.
guess.
And then
That's
there's
very sick.
there's another angle of the shot.
Hey, girl's strong, man.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
That's art, right? You know, you can't.
That's hard.
Have you read on to about his reasoning behind this art? Like what meant?
Reasoning?
Yeah. What
No,
was
I
it?
don't know what it meant, but like I know like Rick Owens as a designer. He's like really like avant-garde, you know. He's
It's an
really
art
different.
show, dude.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
Pretty much.
Mhm.
Something different. I mean,
Something
Yeah.
different, exactly.
people talk about it.
Exactly.
You're looking at it right now.
Exactly. No, you can think what you think, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
That's right. All right, I got like 2 more questions left to go, just because like we're running on times right now.
Yeah.
But I want to go around the table just once, like, but what's everyone's like favorite clothing brand?
What?
Yeah. Favorite clothing brand? No? Sure. No?
I feel like we talked about this on the previous
We have.
other podcasts.
No? Let's not do
I
it.
don't really have one.
No.
It's just if
I don't have one either.
Yeah.
Whatever looks good.
Whatever looks good.
Looks good,
Mm-hmm.
feels
Feels
good,
good.
lasts long.
There you go.
I'll
Pretty
buy
much.
Mm-hmm.
it. Yeah.
I don't have a certain brand, man.
Okay.
Really.
I feel like you do since you brought it up. Tell us about it.
No, never mind. We'll skip that. It's okay. What's we'll go around. I know we talked about this before, but a favorite movie. That,
Favorite movie.
since we're talking about movies a lot. Starting with Barry though. Favorite movie. Something that you appreciate, like, since you understand the process of like the work and all that.
One that is general and one that you've made.
Yeah.
Or helped.
General movie that I. Memento.
Memento.
I don't know if you guys ever seen that.
What year?
I don't even remember.
Ah.
Yeah.
You know?
Was that directed by Christopher Nolan?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
If you ever,
Ooh.
He's genius.
it's a movie that will fuck with your mind.
Yeah.
You know, keep you
Christopher-
guessing.
Christopher Nolan.
Dude, he,
Yeah. If you ever, that's one of the movies that's like, if I could like just take one movie and that was a movie that I would like
Damn.
pick, is that it's Memento.
Mm.
Because just in the beginning scene alone, you're already questioning stuff. And
Yeah.
your mind's wondering, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
You know, and it's such a trip. And there's no visual effects in it at all, right? But it mentally, it made, like, every scene made me think and kind of like wanting more
Yeah.
information. I'm like, why is this guy doing this? What's happening? Why is, you know? And it's like, you guys gotta watch it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
what,
No,
like,
check
Have you seen it?
if you ever,
I haven't seen it.
if
but
you
I
ever
haven't
watch
seen
it, watch it. Memento.
I feel like we should watch it together now, man.
Oh, right.
It's
Yeah.
a, it's
Us
a,
three,
it's
yeah.
it's a good movie.
Yeah.
That's my
We should
favorite
watch
movie.
it.
We'll watch it with the pals. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite movie, really.
And then one that you've made.
One that I've made.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
He's
That's
been
a,
saying that.
that's a default. That's a default.
That's-
Other than
that's
that.
default.
Other than that
was Sausage Party.
All right.
That's
I
it.
knew that was gonna come up.
Those two are the only. Those are the ones I could like keep watching over and over and
Yeah.
over again. Right. The
Yeah.
rest of them, oh man,
Yeah.
yeah,
Emoji.
they're worse.
Yeah.
man,
you look at them and it's just like, oh, that's just I just got paid. to do
man,
that.
emojis was just
Oh, you did
Painful.
that too?
yeah. Man.
Damn. Did Avon like that movie?
I don't think you watched the movie.
Right.
No.
That movie did not do good. It did good overseas, that's for
Right.
sure. Like
Yeah.
China and all that.
Yeah.
But not in North America.
Yeah, not in North America.
My favorite movie is, it's called The Prestige.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Prestige.
Also, it's from Christopher Nolan.
Christopher
Mm.
Nolan. Yeah.
That guy is like he's just a genius director, man. Like the way he tells the story. The Prestige is like it's like a magic movie.
Mhm.
But like these two magicians like back in the day
Yeah.
trying to make it big,
Mhm.
and they do these like crazy acts like they do the bullet catch,
Mhm.
and then like
yeah.
and then like one of the so there's two magicians, right, and they're like kind of like enemies.
It was like 5 years ago, right? Ish.
I don't know, it's like a while ago, but it's called The Prestige because it's like when you see like a magic trick and something that amazes you, that's what it's called. It's called The Prestige. The Prestige. It's-
Uh-huh.
It makes you think like, how did he do that?
Yeah.
And then so there's a scene where
Is it spoil?
no,
I haven't watched it yet, but I really
there's
want
a
to watch
scene
it.
where one magician goes to the other magician's show, and then he goes in a disguise and he watches the other magician's magic tricks
Mhm.
to like kind of study and learn, and then like he watches the show and he gets amazed. It's a really good movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I saw
Isn't what's his name? Isn't
Hold
I forgot his name. Hugh Jackman?
that. Wolverine. Yeah, he's in
Hugh
there.
Jackman was in that movie,
Yeah.
right? Is he the main?
I
Like
think
the
so.
lead?
Honestly, yeah.
He's
He's one of the magicians. For
he's
sure.
one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's a good movie.
Yeah.
And Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Was that Christian Bale?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was Christian Bale
And Hugh
and
Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
Huge jacked man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to watch that now too.
was a good one.
Christopher
That's a good
Nolan's-
movie too.
It's really good.
These are really good. These are two good.
Oh man, I'm
really
afraid.
good
I'm
movies.
afraid what I'm gonna say now. This is lackluster now. You go.
Oh man.
Emojis.
I can't really just pick one off the top of my head, but I feel like in terms of genre,
Mm-hmm.
I would say The Incredibles
Incredible.
for animation, like for Pixar,
Mm-hmm.
The
specifically
first
Pixar movies.
First
The first
First
one.
one,
Yeah, the first one. I would say
That's
the first one is better than the second one.
Oh yeah.
Second one more so appealed to the kids
Mhm.
rather than the family. First one appealed to the whole family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like action was there, story was there, characters were there, and like emotion was there too, right? And comedic stuff, humor was there too. But I feel like in the second one, they kind of just depended heavily on
first one?
Jack
Oh.
just to make up for the whole movie.
Mhm.
Oh, let's just focus on Jack this whole time, right? I feel like that's 40% of the movie,
Mm.
and there wasn't really that much story. The story was good, but they had that typical Pixar vibe to it. Oh, you know, this person who's good is gonna be bad, right? That's typical Pixar.
That's the thing I know, that that's what's happening with Pixar and Disney and all that. It's just a hash of everything that they've done prior
Mhm.
before.
yeah.
You know what I
Especially
mean?
the concept.
The
It
concept,
was very
like
similar.
recycled.
Yeah, like even those, you know, the live action Aladdin and stuff like that.
Ah.
You know what I mean? It's like they haven't came up with something good.
Yeah.
Even that Toy Story is coming out as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I love to. Hey, man, Otis Rec, hire me, Disney. I love to work with them.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, there's nothing that, except for Wreck-It Ralph, the first one.
Mhm.
That was.
I love that one.
That was really
Loved
good.
it.
I still gotta watch that
Yeah.
too.
That was good. That was something different. See, that was like a new story. That was like something like
Yeah,
even The Incredibles.
yeah.
That was good,
Mhm.
you know. But I haven't seen anything out of them that kind of like wow, this is this is like something different, you know.
Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of movies forget about the villain. They always just, you know, he's the bad guy. He's the bad guy. He's trying to get rid of the good guy. But they don't really explain his motives, right? And to me, that's what makes a villain a good villain. A villain, sorry. If they explain his motives and if their motive makes sense, then you're like, I see why he's doing it, but I still don't want to root for him, right? Because a lot of the movies just automatically put a bad guy just so that they have a bad guy, but they don't really put a character to that bad guy. They just immediately say he's a bad guy.
Have you guys watched Megamind or Despicable Me?
Yeah,
Like the whole Megamind was great.
Yeah.
Like they just
Yeah.
switched the whole thing around, right?
Yeah.
And, like,
That was good.
sorry, Incredibles and then.
Oh, we were two?
Oh, I don't know because you said
Oh yeah. Oh, like I don't know, like horror, probably. Maybe Conjuring or Insidious. James Wan, pretty much. James Wan is an amazing horror director.
Mhm.
I really like his style. It's just very, very original in terms of the vision that he sees as to what is creepy and what is scary. Sure, a lot of them are, you know, normal pop-up kind of stuff and scary kind of stuff, but the way that he does those pop-ups to me is very original. Like, oh, I've never seen this style of pop-up before, and that's kind of what I like. I don't know. Click. You guys seen Click?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a good movie, man.
Touches the heart, man.
Yeah,
It
man.
pulls
Like,
the heartstrings on that.
Yeah, that's
one.
what I love about it. It's as funny as it is emotional.
Straight up just
So-
a family movie.
I love it. See, even just saying Click,
Yeah.
that's how funny the movie. If you guys haven't seen Click, I just said the movie Click, and these guys already started like laughing. It's a good
Cringy.
movie.
Yeah.
like,
It's funny, man. It's hilarious.
Your best Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah.
Click. Oh man. God, you didn't see The Waterboy? That's way better than Click. For Adam Sandler. Oh man.
Oh, yo.
Click. Hilarious.
How about you, man?
I have so many. It's just like it just kind of just passes my mind now. But if I'm talking about like most recent, man, like the Dragon Ball Super movie that just came out recently. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Beautiful movie, man. Like the
Oh,
the storytelling with it was just so good. Because you watched Dragon Ball too. No.
I watched it when Bruce and Kit watched it.
Oh, okay, there you go. When they had all the posters in the room.
Yeah. When I was living with them,
Aside from Dragon Ball, a movie. Have you guys watched Looper?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
With,
10-year-old movie now.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
yeah.
Another one.
Bruce Willis, I think.
Because Looper.
Bruce Willis, yeah.
That was
Was he in a train?
Pardon?
Looper, like, was he in a train or something? Or?
He like goes back in time,
Yeah.
and then like he kills people, and then
Oh.
like he comes back, he gets the money, blah blah blah, and then like the whole plot twist is that like him from the future comes back to kill him,
Oh.
or no, someone from his. I gotta watch it, kind of thing.
That movie. When I watched that movie, it reminded me of Time Cop.
Time Cop.
Yeah, so you guys don't even know.
No.
That. It's a Van Damme movie.
Okay.
He did the same thing, man. It's a cop from the future. Yeah.
There's this other one. It's like a psychological crime. It has like Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman too.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called, man. I need to search it up. But actually,
Have you seen the movie Jumper?
oh, Jumper, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one too.
I like that
But
concept.
that movie's okay for me. It's just because
Yeah.
like they had Anakin Skywalker, the guy who did in the Star. I don't know if you guys watch Star Wars.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they had Anakin
Oh,
Skywalker.
God,
like
man.
Is that the same as Looper?
Don't even get me started with Star Wars, man.
Jumper and
Jesus
Looper?
Christ.
Yeah.
They were kind of similar, right?
Ceston Carino. Sorry, can I search something up?
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
it's that Jake. I need to know.
Wait, Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal, and then it has Hugh Jackman in it.
Huge. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real good movie. Yeah.
I have a question for you. So, when you guys finish a project, does the whole team get to preview the movie together, or do you,
Yeah,
do
we
you
do.
just? Oh, you do.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah, we get to they rent out a theater
Yeah, just for the team.
just for the team, for the crew, and we
Yeah.
all
Jake
watch it.
Gyllenhaal,
Cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Sometimes,
Hugh Jackman.
like a lot of the times though,
Mhm.
you pretty much watch the whole.
Yeah,
fucking
when you're
movie
making it.
When you're making it,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Uh,
But it's always good to.
do you really like even with the voices and everything?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah.
Oh.
There's times where
Shit, cameras on.
you can kind of like when the actors go in the booth.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like film of them doing that. You can listen to them.
Uh-huh.
That's how the animators get all their their animation from and stuff like that.
Do you ever get tired of creating that one scene?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
man, I've been working on this
It's
for
work.
weeks, man.
Oh yeah.
Because that's how I feel sometimes back when I used to edit videos. Like, man, I'm getting tired of this song. It's really getting annoying now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I feel you, man. We're like the same 5-second clip over and over, space.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was-
Oh,
I had
Yeah.
I had this director one time where he wanted this meteor and this explosion to kind of hit something and kind of like do this big blast, and and there were these actors right there, and so we did we our team made it, and I put it together, and he hits he sees it and goes, oh, I kind of want it to be a little bit more effects, more smoke, yada yada.
Yeah.
And every time we would show him,
Are you working with Michael
It-
Bay?
yeah, it literally, it was like there was like I don't know how many revisions. Like every time we would show him, there would
Yeah.
be like we'd show him like 20 something times,
Yeah.
over 20 something times,
Really?
and all these little revisions and yada yada yada. And it
Oh,
got to a
man.
point where it was just oversaturated. You can't even see the characters and
Subjects
the
anymore.
live action characters in it anymore, and it was just like.
It's like a white screen at
Yeah,
that
it
point.
was just that at this point it was you could have just got two dirty chalk brushes and smacked it together.
Yeah,
You know what I
it's
mean?
pretty
It was
good.
pretty much like that. And it was like just didn't like it, and then we're like, okay, fuck, hold on. We show him another one, and he was like, yeah, okay, yeah, this is the one, this is the great.
Which one was that?
Which is the fucking like the third one that we showed him prior before.
Yeah,
We just showed him that. So he made us do all of this other work, and he liked that fucking third one.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Oh.
What was
my
this?
Oh fuck! I forgot the fucking movie. It was like a TV show, kind of
Oh,
like
man.
I forgot what it
That's
was.
hilarious because I saw a tweet She's a server, right? She brought out a smoothie to a customer. Customer said, "Oh, I don't like the smoothie. Can you go make me a new one, please?" Well, not even please. She was really bitchy about it. So, all right, sure. Goes in the back. You know what she does? Put it in a new cup.
And then
she gives that new cup there. How's that? Oh, way better, right? It's just in a new cup.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Like
Yeah.
basically what you showed him the third time
Yeah.
is the same as the 20th
Yeah.
time. Right?
It's. I think it's because they just want to see it to the extreme
Mm-hmm.
and what it would look like with all
Yeah.
that, and they're like, it's too much. Let's bring it
Yeah,
back a little
I've been there too. Like whenever I would, when we used to make videos, I'd take hours to do one shot. Not even a scene, just one shot. Like a 5 second, 10 second. We're there. Well, okay, I'm exaggerating, not hours, but like minutes, right? It's like a 10-second clip would take me 45 minutes to shoot, just because I don't really like it. Let's try one more. So, I mean, I know it can be annoying, but and I've learned this a lot too. Whenever you're creating something, just keep going until you can't, because you never know how much better your best can be.
Oh yeah, for
right?
sure. Most definitely.
But I know like it can be really annoying when they're like, no, I don't like that. And then you go back to the second shot that you just made.
Yeah.
And that's the actual.
That's
like,
the
out
one
of all the
that's gonna
100 ones that you made, that's the
That's
best
the
one. It's
actual
just
one
like,
that you want.
and that's the most annoying part about it.
I know. Like you could have been working on something else, but.
Yeah.
Okay. So final question.
Yeah.
We actually ask this to all of our guests. Is there any advice or life tips that you want to give to the audience before we send you off?
Advice. Work hard and never give up.
Mm.
Strive for your dreams.
Mm.
Like, even though it's fucking, you may think it's silly at first. Like I said before, my dream was like drawing. I was a little kid drawing cartoons in front of a fucking TV. And, you know, I made my dreams come true, so never give up on your dreams. No matter what people tell you. You know, people told me my shit was fucking, you know.
Saint art.
Yeah. Wasn't art, you know. And I never gave up, and always, you know, always work hard. If there's things that are blocking you, people that are blocking you to achieve your dreams and goals, you got to push them aside as well. You know, and focus on yourself and focus on that goal. Really, I mean, those people that were blocking you were probably bad for you anyways. You know, they weren't bringing you to a point where you needed to be. Just surround yourself with people that always bring you up, never bring you down. That's my life thing. That's why I only hang around with my family, really. And my friends that I knew since I was like in elementary and grade 7 with. Just the people that knew me when I was fucking, when I was nobody. I'm still nobody, but I mean, you know, when I didn't have anything and couldn't offer them anything, you know, those are the people you want in your life.
That's right.
Everyone else you push to the side and go for your dreams, man. That's it.
That's
really.
all love. That's real all love right there.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to episode 11 of the G-Town podcast. Thank you, Barry, again.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me.
It was amazing. It was great. But like always, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We are on Spotify now. We are live on that. Please tune in next time. We're shooting another episode sometime next week. We usually do our announcements on IG. Check out my IG. We have a Instagram page now at the G-Town podcast on Instagram. We have Eric who does all like the visuals and all that. So please tune in. All right, and that's everything. Peace.
You do all those visuals on the Instagram thing?
No, I found it.
Oh.
Perfect.